Back again with another one, Up the Score podcast, with some great pillars in the community here in Detroit. Oh, in the United States. We're just going to say that. So right now, we're going to have our guest introduce himself, and we're going to dive right into the podcast.
So I'm Dr. Daren Jones Lopez. I currently serve as the Assistant Superintendent for High Schools in the Detroit Public Schools Community District.
Okay. So how is it being involved with a program of this nature?
This program actually begins the process of our young people beginning interest in the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. It's important for them to get started at such an early age because it's here that the doctors of tomorrow begin the vision of what they're going to become. And so our world here is actually what makes their world possible some 30 years down the road.
Absolutely. So how long have you been in the president capacity for?
So I've been in the Detroit Public Schools for 4 years, but I've been an educator since 1995.
So you know about education.
Yes, sir.
So were there any programs or anything like this? I mean, I graduated in '99.
Okay.
I mean, I remember having vocational training. I remember having DAPSEP.
Yeah, DAPSEP. Yeah.
I remember though, but I can't recall anything of this capacity going on. Can you think of anything?
Not at this time. I think this is kind of unique, and I think it's actually cutting edge. The fact that these young people are actually working with drones, cutting edge technology, and beginning that process of thinking about what jobs might be even available and haven't even been imagined for the future, that's positive right now. And so I don't think that there was anything like this on a Saturday where a competition where kids got together and showed their skills.
Right. I have been researching. I'm like, well, let me ask an educator, because I did my novice, Googling, and there are, to my races have been around for a while.
Right.
Drones have been around for a while, but they're not in Detroit. Right. No one has centered in on this concept.
That's correct.
And to see us coming in on the grassroots of it, who knows where it's going to be 10 years from now, next year.
Right.
So how does that feel, and how are you connected with Mr. Daren? Because people may not know.
Yeah. So, first of all, I think this is very much like the Legos and robotics competitions that have happened around the country. So for drones, this is brand new. So I think this is fantastic. Brother Daryl Bingham and I are actually fraternity brothers.
Is that so?
We're both members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, and I've known him for many, many years. But he also works in many of our schools, with our high schools, doing this drone work. And so it's just good to come out and support him.
Right. So there's a lot of connection.
Yes.
And how do you have any nostalgic moments where, from childhood, maybe even up to now? Because I'm gonna be honest, the first tournament that they had. I'm just going to be, as a grown man, and tell you, I could not sleep the night before.
Right.
Because I was able to go back and think about all of those happy times where I would play with my Hot Wheels, play with my remote control car. Can you think of any times, or were you a Hot Wheel racer, a remote control racer? What was that like? How was that?
So I was Atari and Hot Wheels.
Okay.
So Hot Wheels, we had those orange tracks, and put them up on Saturday morning. And I raced my cousins because we had competitions around the cars, but nothing like this. This right here is cutting edge, and it's really good for our kids.
Absolutely. Now, I mentioned that because in my ingeniousness, in my thought process, I love Hot Wheels.
Yes.
Right? That's my children, as they got older, they got out of car phase. I was like, what can I do? And I still love to just, I had to play with them.
Yes.
So I started coaching, started allowing the kids to play with the cars and stuff like that. So I said, maybe we can bring this into schools. But then I come across Mr. Darryl.
Yeah.
He done went past how he said, oh, we're drones and we're autonomous vehicles, and I said, wow. But just to see the levels of what can happen, he's creating future engineers and all those type of things. And just like you said, I didn't even know until I really, like, after my children stopped playing with the cars, that these communities, like the drone communities, the Tamai racing, the Hot Wheel community, these are real communities. These people really take this serious. There's a man online right now. He makes over $2,500 a month detailing, fixing up Hot Wheel cars.
Hot Wheels. What's his phone number?
Right. Like, I will get his information to you. But he, you know, and you go in those communities. He say, yeah, it's just a passive income. I'm a mechanical engineer in real life, but this is something I love to do on the side. You know, so but to see that something so small can become something so monumental. So, and to see where you have come from, see how you guys are involved, and see that you're still doing the great work in the community for these kids. I know it does your heart some good to see this.
Yeah, it does. It makes me feel proud that our people are actually achieving and beginning to achieve in another way, because we're underrepresented in STEM fields, we're underrepresented in the medical field, and it only begins when you spark that small interest as a kid. Like the man said, he used to put Hot Wheels together when he was a kid. Now he paints Hot Wheels as a hobby, because it never leaves you. What you start children with stays with them for the rest of their lives. Just like you say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he won't depart from it. This is what this does for them mentally, physically, spiritually, and professionally moving forward.
Wow. So it's good that we are able to water the seeds.
That's right. That's right.
And keep them rooted.
Yes, sir.
And we're doing all we can do is our part now, because we're becoming wiser.
That's right.
And we would like to know that, hey, there's that mechanical engineer. I remember him from 5 years ago, as opposed to, oh, look at the news. Oh, in jail for what?
Absolutely.
So just, sir, last question.
Yes, sir.
What's next for the president? What's next for the president?
Prayer.
Well, I was speaking of you as a president. We know, Lord knows the president of the United States needs prayer. But what's next for you, the president, in your capacity? What's next?
So I'm going to continue to serve students in my capacity in the Detroit Public Schools. I love what I do. I serve 18 high schools in the city of Detroit. And so I love making sure that our kids have the opportunity to experience the positive future that they have. And so I'm just thankful for that right now. I'm an old dude. I got gray hair, so I'm pushing 60. But it is one of those things that I will probably do until the day the Lord calls me home.
Hey, man. Well, Doc, we appreciate you, Mr. Kappa, man.
Yes, sir.
And keep up the great work, man. And we have just upped the scale.